Hello everyone, this is Cory Bender here on Cory Bender Show, BWC Internet Radio. Hope you enjoyed the playoffs so far of this great NBA season that we're having. And I want to break down Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, which happened last night, and I'm going to preview a part about Game 2. Last night, if you guys missed it, the Mavericks completely obliterated the Oklahoma City Thunder. And that was basically due to Dirk Nowitzki was going crazy on everybody. He's had, I guess, okay performances in the playoffs, but I've never seen him this good before. I think he's a great player. I think he's very underrated. I don't like the fact that people are now just going so crazy about him, all of a sudden. Because all I heard it was how great Dirk Nowitzki is. I already knew he was great. We just haven't seen that killer performance out of his career yet. And that's what happened last night. 48 points. 24 out of 24 from the free throw line. That's ridiculous. Making 24 free throws, you'd think an NBA player should be able to do that, but it's really an amazing accomplishment. It's a great feat. He deserves everything he's getting towards him, except that people are just going crazy about him, and that people just seems like they're starting to realize he's a great player when most people probably knew he already was. Another reason why I believe the Mavericks won this game is their point guard, something like Juan Barrera or whatever. I believe the backup for Jason Kidd had a 24, 21 points. He had a great game in his own right. He was blowing by everybody. But going back to this whole Dirk situation, no one could stop him from the Oklahoma City Thunder. They put Serge Ibaka on him. He can do it. Kevin Durant even tried to do it, and as amazing as Kevin Durant is, he still couldn't do it. Russell Westbrook, even how bad he is at so far in this playoffs, he even tried to crack at it. Who else did? I think Kendrick Perkins did. Most of their team tried their best to stop Dirk, but most of his shots, when he did make them, and when it was a lot, it was just a little step back, like on 1 foot, little jump shot, which he's perfected, and from what I've heard, he practices constantly. So it's going to be hard to defend that. You can't defend as good as the Oklahoma City Thunder did last night, except for Russell Westbrook, because I don't like him very much, but I'll get to him in a minute. The deciding factor in this, too, was, Jason Terry once again had an amazing performance. The top three scorers for the Mavericks were Dirk Nowitzki with 48, Jason Terry with 24, and Juan Barrera with 21. That's going to be hard to win a game when you have so many guys in double digits scoring. While you look at the Thunder and you see Kevin Durant with 40 and Russell Westbrook with 20. But your next biggest scorer is Serge Ibaka with 17, which is good. But the numbers the Mavericks were putting up were just too amazing. And now I want to go shift the focus to the Thunder had a lead once again. I believe sometime second quarter they blew it again. You've seen it before in these playoffs. I don't want to put all of it on Russell Westbrook, but I really want to so badly because I don't know what's wrong with him. Ryan and I have talked about how he thinks he's the man. He doesn't pass to Kevin Durant enough, in our minds at least. Colin Cowherd said the best today on his on Sports Nation. Every shot Russell Westbrook takes, that's one less shot Kevin Durant takes, because Kevin Durant, we've seen him most of the time. He's consistent in shooting. Russell Westbrook is a terrible jump shooter from what I've seen. He's had his moments, sure. During the regular season, I thought he was going to be a top 5 point guard in the league, and I just thought he was still. And then I just saw this selfish side of him. He doesn't pass the ball enough. He tries to take so many jump shots that he can't make. He thinks he's the man, but he's really not. You see, we're not really comparing him, but Ryan threw up the situation of, MJ, yeah, he had an ego, but he could back it up. Kobe has an ego, he can back it up. Kevin Durant, I think, he has an ego, even though he's a humble guy, but he can back it up. Russell Westbrook has an ego. Shooting-wise, he can't back it up. Point guard-wise, he doesn't pass the ball enough. So I feel like he's insane because he's going, I'm going to be the man, I'm going to take these jump shots. But even though he's missing it every game, it's insanity. Insanity definition is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And that's what Russell Westbrook is right now. And it's amazing to me how he's an NBA player sometimes. I do think he's very talented. And the thing is, though, he also makes very terrible decisions layup-wise, too. Um, I play basketball once in a while, so I know the difference between a good and a bad layup. And most of his layups, at least in Game 1, were atrocious. He took a layup, a terrible drive, like 16 seconds left on shot clock. He had time to set up something different, but he decided to just go up and throw up a crazy layup. And some of them, yes, it was just really good Mavericks defense. We'll give them credit. But on the other hand, maybe Westbrook should have passed the ball to Kevin Durant. The superstar player who everybody loves and is very much a candidate for the MVP this year. And it's amazing to me that I'm not too shocked that they lost this game. There's been times in the Memphis Grizzlies series where we saw Russell Westbrook not giving the ball enough to Kevin Durant or any of the other players on the team. And really, matchup-wise, they can't stop Dirk Nowitzki, sorry. Maybe he'll have a bad night. I highly doubt it. But if he doesn't have a bad night, then they're done for. Because if he puts up this amount of points every game, and the rest of his team can contribute, the Thunder are done. And I love the Oklahoma City Thunder a lot. They're a great team to watch, a very fun team to watch. I love Kevin Durant. I love Kendrick Perkins. I think he's a great player. But matchup-wise, big-wise, I really thought maybe the Thunder had a chance to have the edge, even though Dirk Nowitzki is very good. I mean, he's not much of a post presence. At least that's not what he usually does. He's great at cutting, but you don't see him work down low in the post like big men usually do. He's more of a jump shooter, which I've said before. I love having a dual threat and a big guy. But matchup-wise for Dirk Nowitzki, they can't stop him. I don't think this Juan Barrera guy is going to have another great game like he did. I think it was just a one-hit wonder. If somehow he does have another game, I'll congratulate him, and I won't be too surprised. But this guy, he seems like a one-hit wonder. I like him. He's very fast, very quick. I think he distributes the ball very well. The Mavericks have great ball movement just in general. I mean, when you have Kobe Bryant saying that you have great ball movement, and from what I witnessed last night, it's so true. The Thunder defense was just so lost and confused. They were just out of sync. The Mavericks could push the ball anywhere in an instant. That's what you need to do. The way to beat the Thunder is to get them in a half-court game. Because if you let the Thunder also on offense, get in transition, you're done for. But, the Mavericks are smart enough to play half-court offense and to be able to get the ball moving. Even a lot of this Thunder team is a very young team. I don't know if anyone's over the age of 30 on this team. I know there is, but it doesn't seem like it because their starting lineup is Kevin Durant, somewhere in the 20s, Russell Westbrook, 22, Kendrick Perkins, 26, Serge Ibaka, I believe is in his early 20s. And a lot of these guys are young, quick guys, so I just think it's the crafty veterans, since like Jason Kidd and Dirk Nowitzki and all these players that know how to move the ball. They have great basketball IQ, and to be honest, for Game 2, I think they're going to have another repeat performance. I don't think they're going to completely obliterate the Thunder. I think it's going to be about 8 or 6 point win for them. But I just think that they're playing really great right now until Russell Westbrook decides to not have an ego, or at least a big enough ego. To not have a huge ego, then I'm picking the Mavericks. I don't mean to be too hard on him. It's just Russell Westbrook pisses me off. I liked the guy during the season, but then you just saw this shift in him. And to be honest, I think if the Thunder play like this in Game 3, after they lose Game 2, and they play like this and lose Game 3, the series is over in a sweep. And I don't want to see that, because I like the Thunder. I really do. But the Mavericks have really starting to look like they're very relevant. And the last time we saw them relevant was during 2006, but when they got spanked in the finals by the Miami Heat, or should I just say Dwayne Wade, because I think that's a fair assumption. Anyway, this series, to me, I'll go with the Mavericks in 6 as of this point, just because I think the IQ level for the Thunder is not there yet. I don't think they're ready. I think they're a year ahead of schedule. They need a veteran presence there, or they just need to get their basketball IQ up, and Russell Westbrook's got to realize he's a point guard and distribute the ball. And then I think they'll be ready to contend for the NBA Finals because, like I've said before, the Western Conference is very, very much shifting to the younger teams, because the Lakers are getting older, and they're a mess right now, like I've done in my last segments about how much of a mess they are. You have your San Antonio Spurs, who are old as dirt. Then you have really a lot of young teams that will probably come up and take their spots, like your Portland Trailblazers, your Oklahoma City Thunder. You're trying to think of really young teams in the Western Conference now. Maybe the Memphis Grizzlies. You never know, because these kind of old-aged empires are really sinking. But that's what I think the series is going to be like for the Western Conference. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. Hopefully we'll see the Thunder win tonight. From my standpoint, I really want them to win. But the Mavericks are going to win this. And I just want to thank you guys again for listening to this. And I hope you enjoy the game, too, because it's going to be a great game tomorrow, whenever time it is. I'm just so pumped for it. I can barely talk. I'm speechless, really. And now I'm going to go in about an hour watch the Bulls and Miami Heat game of Game 2 and see how that plays out for us. And enjoy the rest of these playoffs. It's going to be a great ride. And thank you for listening to me once again here on BWC Internet Radio.